Eric throws a curveball in Ridge's direction, and Bill asks Katie to marry him tonight. At Bill's place, Hope, Liam, Kelly, and Douglas enthuse about the wedding and tell Beth she crushed it. After expressing gratitude to his father, Liam canoes with his wife. Will gives a toast to his brother Liam and his lovely wife, Hope, and calls for everyone's attention. Beth takes the stage to express her gratitude to everyone who attended the reception, which continues for some time. Kelly can see how happy her daddy is, and Douglas loves the smile on his mom's face. Following that, Deke talks about attending his sister's wedding. Cheers. I love you guys. Hope is told by Katie and Donna that she is the best Logan woman and the daughter they never had. Deacon steps forward to announce that he's unbelievably happy to have both of his kids there. Thank God they only got the good parts of him. Bill comes forward to explain why he admires Liam, his son. He motivated him to make the adjustments that led to Katie's return to his life. Brooke speaks next, directing her love at her remarkable daughter. Congratulations. Bill and Deacon leave to have a drink together, laughing about being back with family and toasting. Brooke, Donna, and Katie, meanwhile, watch Hope and Liam and crow that the Logan women always get their man. Liam calls for everyone's attention and addresses the kids before making a toast to his lovely bride. Hope takes her turn, and she receives more thanks and remarks about the family's unity. She exclaims cheers to her guests while weeping. Cake cutting and applause follows. What transpires regarding Ridge and Eric? At the Cliff House, Taylor tells Steffi she has the rest of the day off, so they continue talking about Ridge's guilt about the retirement party he threw for Eric. They establish this wasn't a power grab, and wonder how their conversation is going. Steffi hopes they'll clear the air. Ridge tells his father, if you want to be here, at Forrester. He apologizes for having made a mistake. Perhaps we can finish this line together? Eric surprises him by shaking his head and saying, no. Eric snarks about Ridge making the gesture to welcome him back, but he's going to give retirement a try. His previous collection gave him a lot of pride, but the boy running the business gives him even more. Forrester is your legacy too. Ridge is suddenly irritated by the idea of Eric retiring and urges him again to come back if he wants to. Eric has been in a long run, but he isn't sure what he wants. The fact that he did this with Ridge is the best part. Maybe it's time for him to do it without him. Maybe it's time that you and Brooke ran Forrester. What about the co-CEO, Steffi? Just saying. In a complete switch-up, Ridge is now trying to convince Eric to stay and protesting that he needs to treat his father with more respect. Eric suddenly remembers his granddaughter and assures his son that he's thrilled with him and Steffi at the helm. Eric expresses his pride at Ridge leading the business into the future, and they express their love. The last scene, Brooke can't believe her little girl is married at Bill's house. Never mind that it's the third, or is it the fourth time? Off in a corner, Bill tells Katie the Spencer men are winning in the romance department. Suddenly, he's on bended knee asking Katie to do him the honor of becoming his wife tonight. The bold and the beautiful recap for Friday, December 12th, reveals that Eric Forrester rejected Ridge Forrester's pitch while Bill Spencer wanted to marry Katie Logan tonight. At the wedding reception, Will Spencer made a toast to Liam Spencer and Hope Logan Spencer before the kids shared their happiness for the newly married duo. Beth Spencer, Kelly Spencer, and Douglas Forrester were all supportive of Hope and Liam as the celebration continued. Deke Sharp, Katie, Donna Logan Forrester said a few words before Deacon Sharp piped up next. Deacon was grateful that Deke and Hope only got the best parts of him. Since Liam had inspired the recent changes in Bill and led to his reunion with Katie, Bill was thankful for his son. Brooke Logan Forrester also shared some heartfelt words on Hope's big day. After Liam and Hope made some speeches of their own, they cut the cake and fed each other a piece. Later, Bill took Katie off to the side for a quiet moment alone. Katie was stunned when Bill got down on one knee and proposed that she marry him tonight. Next on Friday's B&B episode, Steffi Forrester Finnegan and Taylor Hayes discuss the latest father-son Forrester drama. Despite Eric and Ridge's recent conflict, Steffi was rooting for them to work through it. Ridge apologized to Eric at Forrester Creations for making him feel like he had to leave and urged his father to stay if that was what he wanted. Ridge suggested they could reach the finish line together, but Eric turned him down. Eric decided he'd give retirement a try, but he couldn't give a firm commitment on whether it would stick. Regardless, Eric was aware that Ridge's legacy was also that of Forrester. In the end, Eric expressed his faith in how Ridge and Steffi were running the company. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Eric could be gearing up for a major career change if he ends up at Katie's new fashion house. So stay tuned for updates on any shocking news for the Forrester clan. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for Monday, December 15th, reveal that Katie Logan will surrender to Bill Spencer's wedding wish. So a big surprise will follow. The beginning of Liam Spencer and Hope Logan Spencer's reception followed their own stunning wedding. Bill eventually took Katie aside for a moment alone and asked her to become his wife tonight. Of course, a marriage proposal is the last thing Katie was expecting. Katie is obviously feeling pretty overwhelmed, especially since Bill's pushing for their nuptials to happen right away. However, Katie may ultimately decide to trust her instincts here. Katie may decide to remarry Bill right away because he has demonstrated himself to her. B&B's preview video for the week of December 15th to 19th certainly points in that direction. Bill and Katie can be seen still wearing their wedding attire as he offers her an incredible gift to celebrate. "This is my wedding present, your own fashion house," Bill says as he turns Katie's attention to a screen with models on the runway. Katie will be deeply moved over Bill's grand gesture and will lock lips with him moments later, so their wedding night will get even better. It appears that Katie will become Mrs. when Bill Spencer opens up a whole new career path. She will be glad she did. Katie will be on cloud 9 both personally and professionally, so Bill will continue to make some positive moves for his relationship. Back with Liam and Hope. It'll still be their wedding night, too. Hope and Liam may begin a little private celebration once they've finally got some time alone. Even though it was wonderful to spend the day with their loved ones, Liam and Hope will probably be excited to enjoy their new marriage status behind closed doors. Unfortunately, it'll be the calm before the storm for Hope, who'll have to deal with some major work drama at Forrester Creations soon. According to the spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Thomas Forrester's upcoming return will result in troubling news. Consequently, keep an eye out for updates regarding some tricky hope for the future developments. Bill Spencer will have a fashion house present for Katie Logan, according to The Bold and the Beautiful preview video for the week of December 15th to 19th. Thomas Forrester will also want to make a designer comeback at Forrester Creations, so let's discuss all the shockers ahead. B&B's weekly promo kicks off with Thomas entering the showroom and pointing to the Forrester logo above the runway. Thomas will insist that's there he needs to be as he makes a pitch to Ridge Forrester and Steffi Forrester Finnegan. Zen Forrester Dominguez will also be on hand for this meeting, so he'll get updates on Thomas's grand plans. Now that Hope for the Future is gearing up for a relaunch, Thomas may insist they should be using his designs. It looks like Steffi will agree since those designs have proven successful for Hope Logan Spencer's line in the past. However, Hope will apparently think it'd be too awkward to work with her ex under the circumstances. Plus, Hope wants to take her line in a new direction, so she'll try to convince Steffi to leave Thomas out of all this. "You can't make business decisions because you're uncomfortable around my brother," Steffi warns as she defends Thomas in the weekly preview video. Although Hope will play up Deke Sharp's fresh ideas and argue that there has to be room for her own brother's contributions, Steffi will insist there isn't. Of course, a new job opportunity could soon open up for Deke somewhere else. The same goes for Eric Forrester if he decides this whole retirement thing just isn't going to work for him. That brings us to Bill's amazing gift and the smile he's about to put on Katie's face. It looks like Katie will accept Bill's latest marriage proposal and marry him on the spot, since the promo shows him giving her a wedding present. Bill will tell Katie that she's getting her own fashion house, so she'll be thrilled as she offers a grateful kiss. Katie should serve as CEO, but there'll be room for Eric, Deke, and others to join the team if they want. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Bill's fashion house gift will offer some exciting news and shake things up, so stay tuned for all the surprises. The Bold and the Beautiful recap is in for Friday, December 12th, 2025. In today's episode, Eric Forrester makes a surprising decision. Meanwhile, Bill Spencer proposes to Katie Logan. There were also some emotional speeches at Hope Logan and Liam Spencer's wedding. Hope Logan's welcome the couple is now married and it's time for the wedding reception. Everyone congratulates Lope. Everyone gushes about how awesome Beth Spencer did officiating. Liam kisses Hope as Will Spencer gets everyone's attention. Beth makes a speech thanking everyone for coming. Kelly Spencer adds that her father's happiness makes her happy. Douglas Forrester can see how happy Hope is. That's all he ever wanted, for his mom to be happy. Deacon Sharp offers a toast. Katie speaks next, then Donna Logan Forrester. Deacon is grateful that Hope and Deke Sharp got the good parts of his DNA. Bill has a speech next and is so proud of Liam. Brooke Logan Forrester comes next. Deacon Sharp and Bill Spencer bond. Deacon and Bill converse as everyone takes pictures. Now they need to get along. The men joke and talk. It's nice seeing them get along and be civil on Hope's important day. The speeches given by Liam and Hope come next. Hope doesn't know how she can top what everyone else has already said. Liam doesn't know how, but he's even more in love with Hope than ever before. The wedding cake was finally cut. Will and Electra Forrester are viewed by Bill. Bill tells Katie that the Spencer men are finally winning in the love department. There's only one thing that would make this day even better. Will Katie marry him tonight? Steffi Forrester Finnegan opens up. Taylor Hayes' patient is sick, so she has some time. Steffi Forrester Finnegan discusses Eric and Ridge Forrester. Steffi says the men haven't spoken since the surprise retirement party. Eric Forrester's surprising decision. At Forrester Creations, Ridge tells his father that he should be 3. If Eric wants to keep going, Ridge will support him. Eric talks about the best part of running FC was working with Ridge. However, Eric must acknowledge that Ridge and Brooke may take over FC today. Fashion is in Eric's blood, so retirement might not last forever. The bold and the beautiful recap for Monday, December 15th suggests some twists. Bill Spencer has a fantastic present for Katie Logan's wedding. Meanwhile, Thomas Forrester wants his old job back. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. The declaration of Thomas Forrester. Let's start off with Thomas, who comes back to Los Angeles next week. Thomas will be joining Douglas Forrester, presumably to take him home after the wedding. It's known that things have been hard for Thomas since his breakup from Paris Buckingham. Thomas strolls into the showroom at Forrester Creations. Ridge Forrester and Steffi Forrester Finnegan follow him. Thomas suddenly declares that this is where he needs to be, back in Los Angeles. Ridge Forrester's pride. Ridge smiles, so he'll take this as good news. With Eric Forrester retiring, Ridge will be excited to work with Thomas again. Steffi will also be thrilled about her brother coming home. However, this information will not please everyone. Hope Logan's latest challenge, the bold and the beautiful spoilers for Monday, December 15th reveal that Hope has just remarried Liam Spencer. There's a lot of good online buzz about Hope for the future, too, especially in light of the fact that Hope receives new designs from Deke Sharp. Additionally, they appear to work extremely well together. However, Steffi and Ridge will advocate for Thomas. Thomas seems to want to work with Hope once more suddenly. However, this doesn't make her very comfortable. Steffi reasons that Hope can't refuse to work with someone just because he makes her uncomfortable. Hope explains that there must be something they can do, though. Katie Logan's wedding gift. Bill Spencer proposed to Katie after Hope and Liam's wedding. Additionally, the man will have an incredible wedding present for Katie. The man shows her a presentation on video. It turns out that Bill is giving Katie her very own fashion house. Fans can pretty much guarantee that Will Spencer will jump ship at FC to head to Katie's new company. Who else could Katie poach from Forrester Creations? Fans have been asking for years for FC to have a rival, and now we are finally getting our wish. So stay tuned. In a night that feels destined to be remembered as one of the most emotionally explosive turning points in recent bold and the beautiful history, Eric Forrester throws a curveball so unexpected that it sends Ridge reeling. While across town, Bill Spencer makes a move that no one, especially Katie, sees coming, and as these two seismic moments unfold simultaneously, the Forrester and Spencer worlds begin to collide in ways that feel both inevitable and utterly shocking, because Eric Long, regarded as the steady patriarch whose wisdom usually arrives gently and with reflection, chooses this moment to act decisively and without warning, summoning Ridge with an urgency that immediately signals something is wrong, or perhaps something is finally right after years of quiet compromise, and Ridge arrives expecting another discussion about legacy, Forrester creations, or the lingering emotional fallout of Eric's recent health battles, but instead he is blindsided when Eric calmly, but firmly announces that he has made a decision that directly alters Ridge's future, not just professionally, but personally, revealing that he has quietly restructured key elements of the company and his will in a way that shifts power, responsibility, and symbolism away from what Ridge assumed was his birthright and toward a vision Eric believes will finally heal the fractures within the family. And as Eric explains that this isn't punishment or favoritism, but a deliberate course correction meant to protect the Forrester name from ego-driven mistakes and emotional entanglements, Ridge feels the ground shift beneath him. Because for the first time he realizes that his father sees him not just as a son, but as a man who may have lost his way, and the weight of that realization hits harder than any argument ever could. Especially when Eric adds that this decision is final and was made with clear eyes and a full heart, leaving Ridge struggling between anger, hurt, and a deep, uncomfortable sense of truth he isn't ready to face. And while Ridge tries to argue, to remind Eric of everything he sacrificed, of the years he carried the brand, Eric counters with a quiet but devastating observation that leadership is not just about holding power, but knowing when to step back for the greater good. A line that echoes in Ridge's mind long after he storms out, because Eric's curveball isn't just about business, it's about legacy, accountability, and the painful realization that love sometimes arrives disguised as disappointment, and as Ridge leaves, simmering and shaken, Eric is left alone with the heavy silence of a decision that may cost him his son's trust, but could ultimately save the family. While elsewhere, in a far more intimate but no less dramatic setting, Bill Spencer finds himself standing face to face with his own reckoning. Because after weeks of quiet reflection, missed chances, and unresolved feelings, Bill looks at Katie Logan and realizes that the chaos, the bravado, and the endless power plays mean nothing without her steady presence anchoring his life. And in a moment that feels both impulsive and deeply considered, Bill drops a bombshell that leaves Katie stunned into silence as he asks her to marry him. Tonight. No grand spectacle, no press releases, no waiting for the perfect moment, just a raw, urgent plea born from the fear of losing her yet again. And Katie, already emotionally exhausted from years of loving Bill through betrayal, redemption, and heartbreak, is torn between the familiarity of his passion and the scars that passion left behind. Because while Bill insists he's changed, that this time is different, that he knows exactly what he wants and refuses to let it slip away, Katie hears not just the words, but the desperation beneath them. And that desperation both softens her and terrifies her, as memories flood back of promises made and broken, of nights spent believing in a future that always seemed just out of reach. And as Bill speaks about wanting to build something real, something lasting, something grounded not in power, but partnership, Katie feels the pull of the life they almost had and the man Bill is trying so hard to become. Yet she also knows that saying yes tonight would mean trusting not just his words, but her own heart again. And the weight of that choice presses down on her as heavily as Eric's decision weighs on Ridge. Because both moments are about commitment, about choosing a path that can't easily be undone. And as the night deepens, these parallel stories begin to echo each other in haunting ways, with Ridge replaying Eric's words over and over, questioning whether his anger is really about losing control or about confronting the parts of himself he's avoided. While Katie looks at Bill and wonders whether love, real love, requires one last leap of faith or the courage to finally walk away. And the tension builds not through shouting or spectacle, but through silence. Through the spaces between words where truth often hides, because Eric, Bill, Ridge, and Katie are all standing at crossroads shaped by years of history, regret, and longing, and the choices made tonight will ripple outward, affecting Brooke, Donna, the Forrester heirs, and everyone caught in the gravitational pull of these two powerful men trying to redefine themselves. And as Ridge eventually slows his car and stares out at the darkened city, he realizes that Eric's curveball has forced him to confront a future where he must earn rather than assume his place. While back in Bill's world, Katie finally breaks the silence, her answer poised to either rewrite their story or close the book forever. And in this charged, emotionally dense night, the bold and the beautiful reminds us that true drama isn't just about secrets revealed or alliances shattered, but about the terrifying, transformative power of choice. Because when fathers challenge sons and men risk their hearts, nothing remains the same. And as the episode draws to a close, viewers are left with the lingering sense that tonight isn't an ending at all, but the beginning of a new, uncertain chapter where love, legacy, and identity are all up for renegotiation. And the fallout from Eric's decision and Bill's proposal will continue to unfold long after the question is asked and the curveball is thrown, proving once again that in this world, the bold choices are always the most beautiful and the most dangerous.